Close your eyes and imagine this. Your phone suddenly loses connection. The stock market crashes overnight. Strange blackouts sweep across major cities. At the same time, mysterious cyber attacks shut down hospitals, airports, and power grids around the world. Governments stay silent. Leaders speak of incidents, not wars. But what if the truth is darker than we think? What if World War III has already begun? In our real history, world wars have always begun with sparks that seemed small at first. World War I was triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, but the real cause was years of hidden rivalries and secret alliances. World War II began with Germany's invasion of Poland, but tension had been boiling for years with fascism, expansion, and appeasement. And today, our world is once again on edge. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, China's threats over Taiwan, North Korea's missile tests, Middle Eastern proxy wars, and massive cyber conflicts happening daily. But here's the question. What if these are not isolated events, but the first battles of World War III? Now picture this. Behind closed doors, world powers already consider themselves at war. Not with tanks rolling across open fields, but with cyber attacks, trade wars, space militarization, and proxy conflicts fought through other nations. Imagine leaders like Biden, Putin, and Xi knowing that the war has started, but refusing to say it out loud. This is the moment history takes a new, terrifying path. A hidden World War III, already underway. The first signs of this secret war are already visible. Cyber attacks cripple pipelines, power grids, and hospitals. Airplanes are grounded not by bombs, but by digital sabotage. Satellites are blinded in orbit, cut off by jamming and anti-satellite weapons. Meanwhile, proxy wars intensify. Ukraine becomes a bloody chessboard between NATO and Russia. The Middle East sees rival powers fueling opposite sides of conflicts. Africa becomes a new ground for resource wars, with China, America, and Europe competing for influence. But the public doesn't call it World War III. Instead, it's disguised as regional conflicts, terrorist attacks, or economic crises. Yet the pattern is clear. The world is dividing into camps, just like before the last two world wars. And soon, these hidden battles will not remain in the shadows. Now imagine the spread. In Europe, NATO forces mass on Russia's borders. Eastern Europe becomes a fortress of tanks, jets, and missile systems. Skirmishes increase, and the fear of a direct NATO-Russia clash grows daily. In Asia, the South China Sea boils with military activity. China pushes harder against Taiwan, while the US, Japan, and Australia strengthen alliances. The Pacific becomes the next flashpoint. In the Middle East, Iran and Israel stand on the edge of open war. Proxy battles in Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon intensify, dragging in global powers one by one. And in Africa, the new scramble begins, not for colonies, but for resources. Lithium, cobalt, oil, and rare earth metals. Whoever controls them controls the future of technology and war. Region by region, the fires grow. But what happens when these sparks ignite all at once? The secret war now becomes undeniable. The global economy collapses as nations impose sanctions and embargoes. Food shortages begin. Energy prices skyrocket. Ordinary people feel the war not from bullets, but from empty shelves and darkened cities. Cyber warfare becomes a daily weapon. Imagine waking up to find your bank account erased, your government's websites offline, and satellites that once guided planes and ships falling silent. Then comes space. Nations weaponize orbit, launching anti-satellite missiles. Suddenly, GPS, communications, and weather systems vanish, plunging humanity into chaos. And finally, the nuclear shadow. For decades, nuclear weapons prevented war between superpowers. But in this hidden World War III, the threshold lowers. One tactical nuclear strike in Europe, one miscalculation in the Pacific, could trigger global annihilation. And if that happens, the question won't be who wins, but whether humanity survives at all. Let's imagine two possible paths. Path 1, the silent collapse. World War III is never officially declared, but humanity slowly realizes it's living through it. Cyber wars, economic breakdown, and endless regional battles grind societies down. Borders shift, nations fragment, and billions live in permanent insecurity. Humanity doesn't explode, it crumbles. Path 2. The Great Fire. Eventually, the hidden wars ignite openly. Tanks roll, missiles fly, and nuclear weapons turn cities to ash. Billions die, and civilization as we know it ends. Survivors struggle in a world of radioactive wastelands and collapsed governments. A new dark age begins. In both futures, humanity pays the price. Because once World War III begins, secretly or openly, there may be no way back. Think about it. The last 2 world wars started with small sparks no one thought would spread. Are we repeating history right now? Are cyber attacks, trade wars, and proxy conflicts just the quiet beginning of something much larger? And here's the haunting thought. If World War III is already happening, would we even realize it until it's too late? So, what if World War III already secretly began? Would we continue living our lives, unaware we're in the opening act of the deadliest war in history? Or would the world finally wake up only when the bombs start falling? And here's the final question. If we are already in World War III, is it possible that the real war isn't between nations, but humanity versus its own destruction? Because sometimes the scariest wars are the ones we don't even admit are happening.